What's good, Divine Angels? It's your girl Sierra Divine back with another video. It's your favorite cutie with the big booty. So I decided that I wanted to do another story time. I still getting used to the YouTube thing, but I honestly like doing the story times because it kind of make me feel intimate with my audience in a way. And I be having stuff to talk about because my life is it's a little crazy. It was. So I got me some juice. I'm a little under the weather, y'all. I still have a sore throat. So I know y'all read that title. I'm gonna tell you about my toxic, very toxic marriage. My ex-husband, the father of my 2 children, the time he tried to kill me. I'm hungry too. I be doing late night snacking. But this was back on Father's Day of 2017. I am trying to think. I know it was late at night, like basically Father's Day was over, and it was basically Monday morning, you can say, because I believe in 2017 Father's Day fell on a Sunday. So it was Father's Day / Monday morning. It was like 2-3 o'clock something that morning. So I'm not gonna say his name to protect his privacy, but my husband, well, ex-husband, he had just got home. I believe he was out with his friends, cousins. I don't remember who he was out with, but I know he was gone because when he got home, he was drunk. That was something normal for him. All he did was like drink, drink, drink. We were living with his mother and grandmother. It was his mother's house, but we paid all the bills because she was going through a hard time, and we were the only 2 that had jobs. So we moved back in to help her so she wouldn't lose her house. So we were paying all the bills, but that's beside the point. So he had just gotten home and he was drunk, and that year we really didn't do nothing for Father's Day. We just like stayed at home, quiet, celebrated, you know. So Sunday morning we woke up, we went to church, we celebrated with God, with him, the family, in the right way. And then we all went home, had Sunday dinner. After that, about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, Sunday, Father's Day, he told me he was going out. He said, I'm finna go out. I said, cool, because we're not doing nothing around here. Everybody's just chilling, having a lazy Sunday. It was just us. His mom, his grandma was upstairs. Me, him, our kids, we were downstairs just chilling. So I didn't have nothing wrong with that. I'm like, okay, he wants to go hang out with his friends, his cousin. Let him do that. I said, cool. Now, we were having problems prior to this, but I wasn't going to stop him. Because if he needed to get out the house, he needed to get out the house and, you know, be with the boys. As a wife, I understood, because when I want to go out with my girls, I want to go out with my girls. I don't want you bitching or complaining. So I wasn't finna do that. So fast forward, it was about 2-3 o'clock that afternoon. He left. I didn't see him no more. I just went on about my daily routine. So 12 hours later, basically 3 o'clock in the morning, Monday morning, I'm having to go to work. I could hear his keys fumbling at the front door. So I said, he's home. I heard him, but I was like still in a sleep state and I didn't think nothing of it. Y'all, I gotta have my Cheez-Its. I used to love the Cheez-Its white cheddar, but these have become my favorite. But anyways, I heard him coming in, didn't think nothing of it. So all I did was like try to turn back over, go to sleep. But he was very loud. I could hear him talking his noise. So I'm thinking in my head, oh Lord, he's drunk. And I know my husband, so I said he's finna come down here starting some shit. A drunk man, my grandmother always told me that a drunk man speaks a sober mind. So I was praying to God, y'all. I was scared. Because yes, I was in an abusive relationship, but I loved my husband. So I did try to leave previous times, but I always came back. So I was in the bed halfway asleep, but at the same time I was just praying to God, please just let him come home tonight and go to sleep, not let him start nothing, because when he's drunk, that's when it began. And I was like scared, like crying, like I'm trying not to cry now because I can still remember this. But he came in the room. The kids slept upstairs. They had their own room. And me and him stayed downstairs in our own room. So I heard his footsteps coming down the steps. And he came in the room. He turned on his PlayStation. And I was like, thank you, Jesus. He's not going to bother me. I spoke too soon because about 15, 20 minutes later, I could feel him on top of me. He was wanting, to do the do. Now, as his wife, it's rare when I turn him down for sex. But by now it's about 4 o'clock in the morning. And I had to be up in less than an hour at 5 o'clock to get ready for work. So I just told him, I said, baby, not now. Just let me finish my sleep. And then when I get ready to get up, take my shower, we can get in the quickie. He was not wanting to hear that, y'all. So he just kept on persisting. So by this time, I wasn't even like half asleep. No. I was fully awake and irritated. But at the same time, I knew not to say nothing crazy or he was going to get started. So I was just laying there, letting him do what he do. But I wasn't into it, so that pissed him off. Next thing I know, wow, he hits me across my face. And I was just in shock. And I'm like, what did I do this time? And he said, you just gonna lay there, be lazy, you a lazy fuck, you a lazy wife, all of that. And I'm just like thinking in my head, I can't ever win for losing. Forgive me, y'all, if I'm taking too long with this story, but it's still fresh in a way because I still deal with him on a daily basis because we have kids together. But it hurts. It's a sensitive subject, but I wanted to go ahead and get this story time out, hoping that I can encourage somebody, because being in an abusive relationship, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. You don't need to be there. You need to get out. If you're planning on leaving, don't go back. No matter if they say, baby, I'm sorry, I love you, I won't do it again. Don't go back, because they're going to do it again. I was with this man from 2012 to 2017, and I got tired. I was saying enough is enough. I can't do it. I got 2 kids with him. My kids were seeing me at my lowest point, bloody, crying. They seen their father put his hands on me. I couldn't do it. I could not do it. But long story short, I'm trying to make this story short. I let him finish what he was doing. At this point, I was scared. I didn't want to sleep no more. I didn't want to be next to him. So we had this little lazy boy chair in the room. So I went to go sit in the lazy boy chair. That pissed him off too. He said, so I'm your husband. You don't want to lay next to me? And I'm like, I tried to lie, not to make the situation worse. I said, I'm saying my morning prayers. I'm finna get ready for work. And he said, you lying. He said, you get up at 5:30. It's only about this time. It was like 4, I want to say 4:30, almost 5. He said, you never wake up early. So he said, you don't want to lay next to me. Then he started saying, this was the worst Father's Day ever. Mind y'all, it's not Father's Day no more. It's early Monday morning. Father's Day is over. So hold on. Okay, y'all. I had to pause the video for a minute because I'm in the living room and the kids are in the room and they were eavesdropping, basically. I don't want them to hear stuff like this because I really don't want them reliving the moment. And it still bothers them. My kids are still young, y'all. So I had to pause the video, make sure the door was closed so they wouldn't hear me. But basically, so I was saying he caught me in a lie. He was upset. He was mad because I didn't want to lay next to him. But mind you, you just basically, I'm not gonna say rape. That was my husband. I let him do it, but you basically, I let you have sex with me. No, I wasn't into it because I just wanted to be asleep. Then I gave you some. Then you haul off and slap me. No, I don't want to lay next to you, sir. No, I do not. So that's when it started. So let me back up. Me and my husband, yes, we had a wonderful sex life. So don't think he raped me. I was just laying there basically. I don't know if that makes sense to y'all. But long story short, what I'm trying to say is that we sleep like in our underwear or a t-shirt or basically naked. So I was already naked for stuff like that but anyways, okay. Let me make this make sense. I'm naked before he even got home because that's how we sleep. And then he got naked because we had sex. But after he slapped me and I went to go sit on the chair, we started going at it. We ended up on the bed. I remember his hands being around my throat. And mind you all, my husband was a very strong man. He went to the gym every day. Every day he had to go to the gym. So he had muscles everywhere. So I just remember him being on top of me with his hands around my throat. So I'm trying to like get him to loosen his grip. And there was no way for him to loosen his grip. So as a woman who's fighting for her life, I thought to grab his man part. So I was like grabbing and twisting. But I guess because he was drunk and he had an adrenaline rush, that most men, they will let go immediately when you grab their stuff and you pull and twist. But for some reason, I guess the alcohol had him numb. It didn't work. Like, I can look back on it and laugh. Most of y'all probably thinking, why is she laughing? Because God brought me out of that situation. That was the breaking point for me. But anyways, me grabbing his stuff, his jewels, pissed him off even more because his grip got tighter. And all I can hear, it still rings in my ear to this day, is, bitch, let go of my shit. So I don't know what I did. I couldn't tell you all what I did, but he did finally let go of me because I was going there. When people say they're dying, they see a white light, they're telling the truth, because I began to see a bright white light. Like this, I'm on the bed, this man is on top of me, and I could just see a bright light shining from behind him. And I just stopped fighting. I start to let go and release because I'm like, maybe it's my time to go. He tells me to this day that I start smiling. And I guess that's because I seen angels coming to get me or something. I didn't want to fight no more. I was just going to accept the fact that I'm finna die. He's going to kill me. And I was thinking in my head, maybe I deserve it, because it was plenty of times I could have left, but I didn't. It was times that I did leave and I came back. So I'm like, maybe it is my time to go. But we're not together no more. We're divorced, so we can talk about this situation. Now, he said that he was choking me, and when he started to see me smile, he thought I was crazy, but he just didn't know that I was seeing the light and I was ready to go home. I was tired of fighting. I accepted my fate that I was leaving this earth, but he let go of me. And that's when I started coming back. So then when the light went away and I seen his face, I punched him. And I shouldn't have did that, because that made him mad again. Because, if you look at the door, I'm looking at my front door, but like the little hinges on the door, he picked me up by my neck. And like, I guess he slammed my face against the door because I didn't know what hit me at first, but then when I think about it, it had to be those hinges, because what happened was you can't see it. Well, if you can see it a little bit, the hinge end up like, it was a gash right there. Like my eye was split open. Like my eye was like this because I had a big gash. But anyways, he did that. He threw me against the door. The hinge like cut me. It was a gash right here. And then we was in the dark, y'all, so I didn't know I was bleeding, but I could feel something dripping from my face on my hand, because I was like this on the ground. So he did like this, and he hit me one more time in my head. So he let me go. As soon as I knew he let me go, I got up and I ran upstairs to his mom's room. I didn't know his mom was awake, because he was a mama's boy. So I said, I have to get to her room, then he won't hit me anymore. Didn't know his mom was awake. She was awake. She's watching TV, y'all, smoking her cigarette. So mind you, I'm naked. Yeah. And the first thing I think to do is go to his mom's room, because she can convince him to leave me alone, because she's done it before. So her eyes are on her TV, and I'm in her mirror looking at my face. That's what happens when I'm trying to do a story time and the kids keep coming out the room. But what I was saying was, I'm upstairs now in his mom's room, not knowing she's awake. But she was awake watching TV. I guess she heard me scream because when we first started, of course I'm a scream. Anybody would scream. So her mirror is right by her door. So her bed is over here closer to like further in the room. So she seen me when I came in the room at the corner of her eyes, but she didn't like turn her head to look at me. So I'm in her mirror like, oh my God, crying. Cause now I'm in the light and I can see my face. So then when she finally turns her head and not look at me out her peripheral vision, she looked like she seen a ghost. Like she didn't even care that I was naked. Like in my birthday suit naked. She's looking at my face pouring out blood. She's like, what the fuck did my son do to you? And I'm like, I don't know. I made him mad. She was like, what? I'm like, I didn't want to have sex. She was like, okay, what else? I said, that's it. I didn't want to have sex. I told him I had to go to work, so I didn't want to. Y'all, I'm going to tell you, she's the type of mother, she's going to take her son's side. But she will tell him, don't put your hands on her no more. That was the first time she ever said, I'm going to fucking kill him. It shocked me. I'm like, she's finally taking my side, saying that her son is crazy. And the next words out of her mouth was, you got to take y'all kids and leave. And I'm like, what? I'm like, I have nowhere to go. Because I really didn't have no family. My family was in Alabama and we lived in Atlanta. I'm like, if I leave him, I don't have nowhere to go. I'm like, my family, they're not going to let me come live with them. Y'all, that's a whole different story. But I'm like, I love him. And she was like, love is going to get you killed. So she and I are talking and she snatched her cover off her bed like a big comforter and she wrapped me. And she said, I'm finna call his brother. I'm not gonna say the name, but she said, I'm finna call so-and-so over here to get him to calm down, to try to get him out the house so I could leave and get the kids. So while we were in the room talking, I didn't know that he came upstairs. So it's his mom's room, the living room, then on the other side is the kids. So she said, I'm calling his brother and sister over here and he's going to stay at their house while I make sure you and the kids get out of here. So she told me to go get the kids. So I'm finna leave her room and go get the kids. And I see a figure standing in the living room. It was him. It was dark. And then I'm like, I'm not going to say her name. I'm going to say Mrs. Jane Doe. Because I never called her mom. I said, Mrs. Jane Doe, he's standing out there. She said, don't worry about him. He's not going to do nothing. So I step out the room and I hear a click. And then I'm thinking, was that a gun? Yeah, because 2 months before he bought a gun. And yeah, it scared me being in an abusive marriage and your spouse gets a gun. I'm like, all he gonna do is use the gun and try to kill me one day when I make him mad. So we're in the living room. His mom is behind me. I'm standing in front. He's standing between me and me going to get the kids. And even though it's dark, I'm like, he has to have that gun. So I can't tell if he got the gun, but I heard the click. I guess that was him cocking back. So I told her, I said, oh no, he has the gun. She said, oh, he's not that crazy. So as soon as she said that, I heard a click again. I'm like, is he cocking it? And then I could just see his arm raising in the dark. raising. And I'm like, he has this gun pointed at me. I peed on myself, yes, because I'm like 2 times in less than an hour, and this man is trying to kill me. I'm like, this man don't love me. How could I be so dumb to stay with him? We got kids, and I'm just thinking about my kids, y'all. I'm like, if you kill me, what are you gonna tell our kids when they get older and they start wondering where their mom's at? And I'm just thinking, how could you even think to kill me? I'm your wife. I'm the mother of your children. Our children are less than a feet away, and you got a gun pointed at me, ready to kill me. I'm like, what did I do so bad for you to want to kill me? And at that point in time, y'all, my self-esteem was low. And I used to think, what if I deserved to die? Because God gave me plenty of chances to leave. And me being so dumb and in love, I just kept going back. But I'm going to have to end this story time because it's still getting to me. But I'm going to just end this story time because I'm trying not to cry, as y'all can see. But I want to share my story with you all. You can see that I'm here today. Luckily, I made it out. He didn't kill me. I'm here alive today in 2020 with my kids. Anybody who's watching this video who is going through a situation now similar to what I have went through, please, I'm begging you, please leave. Being in an abusive relationship is not worth your life. I don't care if you got kids with the man. Get your kids and get out. I don't give a damn if you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 kids. Always are gonna need their mother more than they need their father. I hate to say this, fathers are important, but it's something about a mother and a child that no man on this earth can explain. A mother's bond to her children and what she will go through for her children is unexplainable. If that man is putting his hands on you, leave and get out now. Call 911 no matter what city, what state you in. Police will find a shelter for you to go to. But don't stay in that relationship. I'm telling you now. I don't care. It's going to hurt. But it's not going to hurt. It's better to hurt than have a man hold a gun to you. Because if a man puts his hands on you, he gonna keep putting his hands on you. Do you hear me? I don't know how much I can stress it to whoever watching this video, but just leave and get out now. That's all Sierra Divine has to say for this evening.